Hey everybody, so it's a beautiful sunny day here in Lee County, Virginia. Yeah, my county. And remember that I'm the boss here. But we're here in Lee County, like I said, in Virginia. We're gonna check out this Wilderness State Park, and they're having a little event here. So let's check this out. Follow us. So I'm not sure if I mentioned, I think I said about the Wilderness State Park, but this is historic Martin Station. There's the visitor center, and that's where we'll start our day. There's quite the crowd here.
Well, there's going to be reenactors that we're looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, it says Living History Museum. So it's going to be pretty cool, I think. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yes. They're making a treaty.
Yep. And they have a cool little gift shop in here. I like the shirts. And you got hats, little guns, different books and stuff. Stephanie loves like everybody dressed up.
I love it. It is quite the setting here. It's dog friendly today, and pretty populated, and so much to see and to learn about today. I'm looking so forward. First stop.
Pretty sexy cabin, isn't it?
It sure is. Looks super homey.
Yeah, homey. This cabin was donated by Fats.
Hi.
Serber and family.
Hello.
Watch your head coming through the door.
Yeah, duck.
This is a low ceiling.
I'd get decapitated.
How are y'all today?
Wonderful. What a stunning cabin you have.
Well, thank you. This is a beautiful, wonderful little cabin. This one was one that was moved in. This was built in the 1780s and stuff, and was moved from not far. And the stuff to this position, and Park's really happy to have it, and we're real happy to use it.
Live in it every now and then.
To set it up as folks would have done, sometime in, back in the past. It's got a little cold last night, but I mean the fire keeps it good. But when the fire goes down, and it's as cool as it was.
Do you have an artifact in this house that is your favorite or has a story behind it that you know?
Well, let's see. All the things that are in the house are ours that we bring in to do it. Otherwise, it's just a shell. Is that what you mean? Something of neat. So we don't have any really old neat mementos or stuff.
This is probably my favorite. It was your mother's
Well, that's true.
bowl,
It's a dough bowl.
and it was whose before that?
I have no idea.
Was it your grandmother's?
Probably.
It probably would have been. I don't know.
Yeah. And so I made biscuits this morning with it.
That's wonderful.
Make
The
a
knife
pie.
around your neck, that was something that you wore all the time for cutting the head off the chicken and
Keeping the husband in line.
Well, he actually gave me this for an anniversary present, and when he gave it to me, I'm like,
Oh, you gave me a knife.
thanks.
Oh.
Give me a knife.
I would totally appreciate that so much.
I use it all the
Yes.
time. I just never realized just how I'm lost without it now.
That's right.
Apothecary.
Smells really good in here. The soap's hitting ya.
Yeah.
Old age whiskey. Oh yes. Oh yes.
It's decent.
Hickory suede. I highly recommend that one.
Not tobacco and amber.
Oh yes. That's another given.
Check that out. Leeches. Got some leeches, wound heal salve, body butter, some infused honey. I didn't ask what it was infused with, but
You know, most houses have a rifle over the door. You know, so we have those very.
oh god, more
Hi there.
more stuff.
Terrific. Can you tell me about the era of these and the origins? Are they Scandinavian or Pennsylvania Dutch?
They are colonial. Almost everything you see here was artists that were found in the colonies about 1710 to 1810. So it's quite a broad spectrum of folk art, but this is 18th century folk art. It was inspired by either crewel work patterns. The one in the top front was a crewel work cushion. Let's see, the gentleman on the horse up there and the stag, it was two different redware plates from about 1790. So everything is inspired by different pieces of artists that would be found in the colonies.
Hello, hello. Come in.
It smells lovely in here.
Come right in.
So you are responsible for making these woven beauties?
Yes, I am. My husband is the knitter. I don't knit well. Everything else, from the raw wool, the yarns or dyes, everything. That's I do that part. But I'm a pitiful knitter, so I hired him.
Oh, well done, sir.
How's that?
You, sir, are you able to sell your goods?
Is that one you like?
Look at this. Like, can y'all see me in this?
Yeah.
That's not too far-fetched, is it?
No,
I'm from
I don't think so.
I'm from like around.
What do you say, honey?
I don't know.
Place and purpose to wear it, maybe?
Yeah, you do have room in your closet, I believe.
I changed my position.
Oh, I love this style. Children's
So
toys.
The high school gymnasium exercise, the jumping jack, takes its name from this toy.
That's amazing.
Now these were popular in colonial times over here as well as in England. They were also very popular in France. In France they were called pantins. They were usually made of cardboard, but they were elaborately decorated, sometimes by famous artists, and these become collector's items among the wealthy French nobility. You were looking at the original Beanie Baby, a children's toy that for whatever reason becomes fashionable for wealthy adults to collect. Now if you turn them around and look at the backside, you can see how the mechanism operates. Ancient Egyptian children at the time of the pharaohs had toys based on that same principle. This thing is thousands of years old.
Oh, this is the
Amazing.
old version of
Wonderful
the box.
history story.
God save Virginia! Death to tyrants!
Come join us.
Let the blood of tyrants water the roots of the tree of liberty! Send the message King George will hear in London! He will hear it like a cannon shot, sir, or it will be carried on the edge of a musket ball.
Not gonna be able to come back from this.
Tyrants!
No coming back from this. I'm not coming back too. This is Virginia.
Down with King George! You people on the edges! Where do you
Call that a volley? The King's Army will show you what a volley sounds like. Hands of these traitors. We're going to fireball to Virginia, boys.
All of you on the edge, remember this moment. Remember that today you were asked to take a side. A side for liberty, for yourselves, or for the side of tyranny, offered from 4,000 miles away at the point of a bayonet. God save Virginia! God save Virginia!
The fires, of course, they smell really good, don't they?
Yes, of course. Cleansing.
Hey.
Here you make the musket balls?
I do. Would you like to see one being made?
We'd love to see one. May we tape it?
Sure. So I have my mold here. Out here and get my metal that I've liquefied down here. So it's going to have a sprue on it. Of course, that's going to be hard to get down a gun barrel. So what you do is take the sprue nipper, put it in there, and there we go. Got a round ball.
Nice. They're pretty awesome, aren't they?
Yep. I like the black stuff here.
Yeah.
This is my black gold.
Where are you folks from?
Greenville.
Greenville?
Tennessee. Tennessee.
Tennessee? Well, we're glad to have you. So, the first visit to Martin Station?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, this homestead, I'm Granny, and this is Granny's homestead, and it's representative of a typical 18th century homestead that people would build when they first came out. When Captain Martin built the fort, he built a cabin or two, and this might have been one of the cabins that he built, so it'd be kind of small and made to put up quick. And so here what we do is show what people that are settling in would actually have. People would always probably have pigs, so we have pigs in the pig pen. The first thing that you had to do in order to get a homestead would be plant corn, because that was part of the land requirement to get a land deed. So for every 10 acres of land that you bought, you had to plant 1 acre of corn, because if you didn't, you were going to die. Because when you came out here, there's nothing here, right? So you have to have a food source really quickly. And so corn would be the first thing planted. The garden behind us has mostly corn. So that's what would have been here at the fort during that time. And as people settled, they could start to incorporate more crops into what they were eating, have a bigger variety. And people that were traveling through bring more seeds into the frontier. People would carry seeds. They'd carry corn with them. They'd carry peach stones in their pocket, because it was just important to get something growing.
Couldn't wait for Johnny Appleseed to come up through.
Johnny Appleseed. But and then a lot of them, I mean, they had known, people had been exploring and sending pictures back and writing letters, so people probably knew somewhat what they were going to face. But the thing is when they started traveling, it's called the Wilderness Road now, it didn't look anything like it. It wasn't wide open farming spots.
It had to be cleared.
No, it was, it's like cane thickets and cedar breaks, and people would have to break through the cane. They'd follow old animal traces to get through and start clearing land. So it was a challenge.
That was always the case for pioneers, was follow the animal traces.
Follow the animal places, and they call it the warrior's path too, because it was all Native American trails. So anyway,
Buffalo and
yeah, it's also called the buffalo trace. Yeah, three words for the same thing. So this garden is more of a household garden. So I have onions and potatoes and carrots and beets and cabbage and squash on the back rails, okra in the back. Beans are going to be on that side, and This is going to be a gourd bed here.
And these would have been things you made here or
Yeah,
brought with you?
You'd probably bring the heads and then make the handles once you got there. Or in some circumstances, there were traveling blacksmiths, so then you could have somebody forge you a handle. People would do all sorts of things. You could use the scapula from a deer. You know, it's shaped like a hoe head, and you could make a handle for that, which I should do that because I have one. You know, so you'd have to be creative. You might carve yourself a wooden handle. So if you have the opportunity to bring the heads with you, you probably would do that. This one is my favorite piece here because you can't tell. It looks like it's a carved piece.
It absolutely looks like it's a carved piece.
But it's a root.
Oh, so that's...
So it's one solid piece.
It's one solid root. And so it's a phenomenal piece here.
And you'd use this for the fire, apparently?
This is basically a hay rake.
Hay rake, right?
Yeah, it's a hay rake.
I thought it was a husband prodder.
Something like that. If I had a husband, I'd prod him. This one, which needs repairs, is a rake. So this is just something that's been, the head keeps coming out, so I need to put a pin in it or something to hold it together.
We actually have one of these.
But it's all pegged.
Yep.
You know, the same thing, you just took it, it's pretty clever, and split it. You know, so everything takes work, but everything's possible. You'd come out here and look at what you need and figure out ways to do it. This one, of course, is a hoe.
That'd probably be the most important piece to have.
This is a really important piece. This one is, let me pick it up if you hoe in the garden.
Yes. Yeah, you're gonna.
It's rough.
Yeah. It's hefty. With the fires in the house.
Yeah, it dries out pretty quick.
And your wooden bowl.
Yeah, of course, the dough bowls.
Isn't it beautiful? This is actually a vintage bowl. But it's called a turtleback bowl because it looks like a turtle. And you can only imagine the effort that somebody took. I mean, this is a tree sitting here before you. You know, a tree stump. So you take the stump and you take all that time to all that out, and it's a beautiful piece. I love it so much.
I love it too.
Yes, I do. This is my personal bowl. Oh, most of the stuff, this is my cabin. Most of the stuff is my personal stuff in my cabin. The fort owns a lot of the stuff throughout the fort, but I bring my things that make me feel like my home with me. So this is one of them. I have one at home that's about 4 foot long. And
that's a great piece. Tell me about the turtle shells in the kettle here.
Okay, so when you came out on the frontier and you were hungry, you know, you're looking for things to eat all the time.
All the time.
And so people would hunt for food and gather food and fish for food and whatever, but you wouldn't waste whatever you had. And so, like the turtle shells, for example, people would eat turtles. Here's Billy. People would eat turtles, but like I said, you wouldn't just toss the shells to the wind. I'll show you a piece I have in here, actually.
And the antlers.
Yeah. And that basket's really cool.
So we would hunt for food because we're hungry, but then you would utilize everything about whatever you hunted for.
Of course, there's no such thing as waste.
Right, so this turtle here, it has a belly. This one had a belly, and so I made a bag out of it because it's a beautiful piece, right?
Beautiful, well done.
And this one here still has the belly on it, but if I took that belly out, then I could use that for bowls.
Dish.
You could use the belly part for a spoon, for a little plate. You could use it to scrape hides with.
I was just thinking of a scraper for the dough bowl.
Yeah, and for the dough bowl, exactly. Or for pottery, because when you make pottery, you have to use something to smooth it. So the possibilities are endless as far as your imagination and your need. And that's the beauty of everything. When you need something here, the beauty to me is you need something here. So you go, I need this, how am I going to solve this problem? And it's a beautiful way to look at life when you start thinking like that more.
And we got a couple sheep here. And so you can't see the one, but it's standing up. Pretty cool.
We come through here.
We got a fire going in there. Uh-oh. Looks like dinner's cooking. And now you know, Stephanie likes her pewter and her
Redware.
Yeah, and her jugs.
Pottery.
Yeah.
And the wooden troughs, and dough bowls, and the blown glass. Come on now, look at that bench, darling.
Yeah.
High back bench.
Yeah, not a pizza oven, but I always call it one. I need to make myself one of those, but in a pizza making form.
It's a wonderful, wonderful piece. I wouldn't mind having that on our property.
Yeah. A little bed and a little table.
Virginia for constitutional liberty.
Yeah. Not Northern Virginia anymore. And look at the bread they made on the fire. That's pretty awesome. That's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah. You see that every building has a little chimney.
Yep.
That person will bring the charge from the box to the cannon and back again. Now you will notice he's going to do double duty. He expects double pay, but he's not going to get it. He's going to walk backwards for a point. Now the reason he does that, if you're carrying that round forward and a ball, rifle, musket ball hits that, it could explode and it could wipe out half my crew. But by walking backwards, his back will stop the bullet. He's expendable. We try to get the guy with the biggest shoulders. He's safe. One round, salute charge. Bit. Handle cartridge. Round cartridge. Prick and prime. Now the words make ready, that's your cue to cover your ears, okay? And again, if you've got a hearing aid, now is a good time to turn it. Make ready! Fire! Stand up.
No,
Work.
not lying.
High back sponge. Fire.
Too late.
That's worm. Stand up. On the left and right, rest. Well, we hope you got a bang now then. You want to come up forward? You can.
So that's 2 hours is nothing.
Yeah.
That's about what I got in Kentucky. 2 hours.
That's not bad.
We'll throw in those little feet. Have you all been here?
Not to this.
No.
Not
This
to
is the
this
best
area.
frontier fork side of the planet. We have people from Germany and Australia coming.
Wow.
Just for this one.
Well, the colonial time was a melting pot. They should come from all over.
Yes.
This is the Gunsmith shop. So we build guns in here. They've been building guns in here since they built the shop, which was about 20 years ago. And we have built every single piece of the gun. Back in the day, the guy that was the original gunsmith in this shop was Andy Thomas, and he was building guns in here for the Ford. He was a volunteer. He built the first gun and called it his pattern gun. And then they contacted different builders around that were associated with Virginia and said, Gunsmith of Williamsburg, can you forge us a barrel here? So they did. And then, hey Mike, can you make us a lock? I said, yeah. I said, no power tools. I said, okay, no power tools. All forgings and all filings and just hand tools. That's it. So every screw, every spring, every part was either hand forged or hand filed.
Wow.
And so
All the schematics are patterned to the 1700s?
yes. And that gun was patterned after two original Virginia rifles that he combined so that they're individual in itself. So this is the Martin Station gun.
I know they're heavy. Are they under 30 pounds?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, that's kind of a heavy gun. This one, not.
Well.
It's not heavy for a gun.
Not a girl gun.
Not that one, no.
But I can see a 12-year-old
Sure.
reeling this.
It's pretty close. Yeah. That one's on the light side, even though it's a 50 caliber. So it will take deer, bear, elk, moose, whatever.
Oh, wow.
Could do buffalo. And
Oh, it could.
oh, sure.
Would a buffalo stand still long enough for it to...
Back then, yeah. They didn't know any different. They didn't know what you were. You could pretty much just kind of get 50, 60 yards from it, shoot it. They didn't really know the trick for the plains, which was shoot the lead cow in the hindquarters and break its back, drop it, and she'll sit there and bawl.
And they won't leave her.
And they won't leave. They'll just turn.
They'll circle her.
Now the next bunch you shoot has got to drop. If they start bawling, it'll scare them and they take off. Then you have to shoot the cow and shoot the one that you just made bawl.
Yeah, but that's a very little known fact.
Exactly.
Of how to hunt, yeah.
Exactly. And so they took guns similar to this out there.
It's well done.
These were some of the first that could have been buffalo guns out west too. I've had several guns in the shop that were turned into cap locks, and I had to turn them back into flintlocks, but they had been out west and brought back. So they were out there shooting grizzly bears with them.
Every bit as nice as there's no reason why you couldn't make anything out of that.
Part of a wagon.
Basket weaving.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Not yet, but we might be later.
That's sweet.
No, I'm kidding.
So, I see you making some.
Making baskets, and we do twining and weaving and all that stuff, but mostly baskets. Getting ready to put a bottom in a little stool. I'm gonna let this lady, or teach her how.
Have these wreaths been soaked and then?
What usually what I try to do is I'll cut the tree and take the bark off, split it up into stays like that right there, about that size, and try to work it up when the sap's still in it and it's good and wet. If it ever dries out, then you've got to re-soak it for a while.
Would you use foxvine as well as reeds as well as
White oak's about
white
the
oak.
only thing I use.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, you can make a basket out of popper bark, I mean, just everything in the world, but I just stuck with white oak.
That's your comfort level.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Some of them are up there. Some of them's already left here that we made. But we just have to keep splitting it down. I'll go in the center of it and just pull it apart. And if it tries to go one way, I pull it back the other to keep it in the center, and that gives me two good pieces. See, I was trying to run this way.
Yeah, but wants to stay even.
So I've got to pull a little more pressure on this side to get it back in the center.
And the secret is getting the long ones.
Well,
you need the short ones. But
any of them split, short or long, but you get more. You can make a bigger basket, of course, the bigger pieces you get. And then, like I say, you just keep splitting it till you can't split it any thinner. And then I'll take this piece of leather and give it a shave, and that thins it on down and makes it good and smooth. And once I'm satisfied with that, you actually want to get it
even thinner.
Yeah. You want to get it to where it'll bend over your finger like that.
I see.
Now I can split that again and get two pieces out of it. And then I'll either take my period correct scissors, 18th century scissors, and I'll trim it, ever how wide I want, or, I can use my knife. But it's just something that you just learn how to do over time, You know how hard to cut and how far to cut, what you will do.
One question I have for you, well, one more question I have for you,
Sure.
is the standard of peck, bushel, pint, the basket sizes.
Yes.
Was that a thing at trades during the colonial times?
Yeah, you had I think your bushel, was out here. It would have been mostly probably the bushel basket, bushel size.
I just remember the old nursery rhymes, a bushel and a peck.
And a hug around the neck.
That one.
Yeah.
And they know they derived from
Bushel and a
somewhere.
peck as far as I ever get. I don't ever get that hug around the neck. I don't know what's going on, but.
Yeah, I get that all the time, but it's with two hands.
I heard that. But they would. Of course, when they got here, they couldn't go with any further with wagons, so they had to pack everything on horses, and so you would have seen a lot of pack baskets and stuff. know, where they could
Cover
drape them over
baskets.
horses, yeah.
That
And,
would ride comfortably without spilling anything out of it.
Yeah, and then, and of course, their pack horses, they could put any kind of basket on it. But that's all they had to put stuff in, you know, was their baskets.
Here's some of the baskets.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it. I had other things with it, maybe red ochre or bloodroot or something. I'm not.
We're here for dinner.
Well, it's going to be a while. Yeah.
So we got nothing but time.
Nothing but time.
So these contraptions for the cooking, they're authentic or primitive pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Would they be drinking tea or coffee now?
They can have either or. You know, as usually as your beverage. Of course, most of them prefer ale. But, you know.
Ale, tea, coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
So each section, they actually have kind of like separated with like little paths through the woods, which is kind of cool, I think. So the next section we're going to check out is the Native American section.
Would you in the 1790s prefer to be called Red Man or by your heritage tribal name?
Oh, wow. So we're going to pick 1790s? Okay. Well, let's make this pre-93 then.
Okay.
I'm Salagi. I'm part of the real people. Native American? What the heck's that?
There is no, right, there is no such thing as a Native American. You identify as
Native American, I guess, what, the 60s? 1960s, I think, when that became a popular term?
When the pollution commercial came out with the tear.
Oh, that was, it kind of predates that one. That one, Iron Eyes Cody?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. That was amazing. I love that one.
I remember that.
And,
I
but
cried the first time I saw it. I was a little kid.
I was a kid as well, and I saw it and cried.
Here's and it's really hard to ask someone who has no filters and is about as far from politically correct as there is, what's a political correct thing to say. And I've been asked as people that actually want to do respectful portrayals, or not portrayals, but respectful demonstrations or talks. What can we do to say something that's not offensive? I was like, don't call me a jerk. I mean, it's, you know, just be kind to others. Labels and names aren't that important. And it's the same for them. What they would refer to themselves as is Salagi, which when you translate it, it means the real people. And it's not about politics, because in 1790s, only about half the tribes even full Cherokee at that time. And so saying Native American, First Nations, it's about popular terms, because the thing is, when you talk to someone who's Native, and I'm using the term, but I'll say chief, I'll say sashim, I'll say Injun, it's things that everybody understands. Language is a big part of communication, but it's not the only part of communication. So when you're talking to me, no matter what you call me, if you are respectful when you address me, no matter what word you use, my name's Mark.
Just don't call him late for dinner.
That's dangerous. They feed me so I don't destroy the world. Yes, vermilion, for instance, bright red. That's the red is the color for war, but that bright vermilion is also the thing that indicates wealth, because that was the more valuable trade item. Red ochre, we can go out here and collect and make it. The vermilion that they were trading for wasn't a native color to them. If they got it, they traded for it, which means that they were pretty wealthy that they could come up with something like that. Because would you rather get the vermilion or a pot to cook in? So priorities on how you spent your money, your bucks, your hides. You know, vermilion was an indication of you being a good hunter, which is what made you wealthy. It's also, Catherine's got the red, identifying her as a married woman. And those were all indicators. But then the colors, so on the we'll call it our palette, our paint wheel. North is blue, indicates peace, or it indicates healing. East is red and war. White is south and healing. West is black and death. The colors for war are red and black. But this is actually considered red, and this is actually red ochre, not vermilion, which is a scarlet red like his shirt.
Yeah, I saw a reenactor in the museum.
And so telling what you are and what you're doing. If you're wearing black and the colors that you're painted for war, you don't, it's bad manners. Later, early, it's actually invitation for the demons and the bad spirits to come into the village, to bring them with you. So it's about becoming a man again. It's becoming a man of society again.
Here we have a little cemetery. So what do you think of your day?
Fantastic. Just the best of the best today. Meeting all these dressed up characters and listening to their stories. It's fascinating.
Yep.
Fascinating. A long day, a lot of walking, but I wouldn't trade it. I think we're gonna be sorry when we get home, my love.
It's one last look.
We had a fantastic day today at the historic Martin Station here in Virginia.
Yep.
I wound up getting some signed books from Charles E. Hayes. They're all aligned with the timeline and the history of this part of Virginia that I can't wait to read. And also wound up getting some specialty tea.
Yep.
For lung and respiratory tea, with a beautiful seal and beautiful packaging, and this sweet little pewter painted little
jug.
moonshine jug.
So we hope you like this we hope you enjoyed this video and liked it too. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And we want to thank everybody that has subscribed. We want to thank everybody for leaving all the wonderful comments that everybody has been leaving.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. It means a lot. I can be a Debbie Downer at times, and sometimes I'm like, screw this, I'm not doing any more videos. It's just a waste of my time. And then somebody leaves a beautiful comment, and then I'm like, okay, this is why we're doing it. Somebody enjoys it. That's all that matters.
Our family sees it, and
Right.
they're so happy to see us happy and enjoying a Steph-n-Lee day.
Right. So we want to wish everybody out there a Steph-n-Lee day. And until next time,
have a Steph-n-Lee day.